For a moment. Just
that was
You literally opened with that? I mean,
I kind of wasn't expecting.
Oh,
I mean, we just
Ian
got John
to be
Oliver talking to what? Dustin Hoffman, and here you are.
Actually, really enjoyed
I am
that.
a dusty man.
But the Dustin Hoffman and John Oliver bit.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Bit.
it good?
Thank you for the pity
You know
laugh,
what I mean.
Dean. I can always count on you to give me the pity
bit.
laugh.
But yes.
So hey, hi, howdy. Something weird's going on. Vale, Gilwyn, and Melody are very invested in this. Amelia, I imagine Amelia is actually like in the talks. Like, oh, when we talked to you the first time, this is what you were interested in. Like, you're actually, because you were kind of spearing this, you're actually in this conversation and stuff. Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll. For some reason, I fuck it up again, just for general.
And knowing Amelia, she's probably charging for her opinion.
Hey now.
Whoa!
I'm probably getting in the way.
You're getting in the way.
You could charge for.
You're getting in the way. Wait a minute. You can charge for opinion.
I'm already being paid for this, okay?
It's like they're trying to make a compromise, and Amelia's like, unacceptable.
But you said this the first time. No, you were very clear about this.
Like, no, I have notes. Guys, I wrote this down.
Both sides are like, yeah, that could work, and she's like, no.
Pull your head out your ass.
So this goes on for quite a long period of time. Me?
Scott's muted and talking.
He's eating. He's eating something
he
gooey.
Like said like many sentences.
He's eating something gooey and white. Let him be. Don't draw attention. I don't know what that is.
It doesn't matter. Sid is leaving. Oh, is that a s'more?
It's a s'more.
They don't have those.
A s'more.
A s'more. So, this goes on for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. The guy, the tiefling that you're all keeping an eye on, doesn't really do anything. At one point, he walks. You're like, and he gets a drink from the table. You're like, oh. Amelia doesn't know this is going on. Actually, Amelia, give me a perception check. You won't notice the it's just whether you notice these guys are being weird.
And we're all staring at
They're all staring at the same guy. You do notice this after a little bit of time.
Since watching the proceedings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of worried about other things right now, so I noticed that they're all being
absolutely what happens when
Amelia's like, huh? Oh, fuck those guys. Back to work.
As this continues and talks continue and actually a bit like how Sid said, like everything happens very quickly because they kind of knew what they wanted to say. This is like the place where you go, hey, this is actually our proper point. And Casback occasionally has some ways with words and also has some things in writing. And occasionally he goes to one of the dwarves and is like, how do I say this? That sort of thing. At some point, there is no grand noise, but a hat becomes visible.
Oh.
I said I was counting down.
Mm-hmm. Were you going to do something before it? Were you going to go over and give him a warning?
Why else would I count down? Absolutely.
To watch?
I would pull it off of his head.
Oh, would you? But, well, he's very tall and you're very small.
And by hat, Ollie means erection.
I mean, I can pull that off too, but I feel. Oh, you know what? It's like that's like one of those flagpoles in like New York City. You kind of like grab on and you climb up like Batman would do in the cartoons. You know what I mean? So it's
I
know what you mean. That's why I'm mad.
When Batman's in New York, yeah.
Well,
Batman must have been to New York. I mean, I watched.
Great, Dean looked at the camera there.
That was a Jim face, more or less.
Oh boy.
So Scott, how'd you get it off his head when you are small and he is tall?
Very simple. I go, hey, Fail.
Yes.
266, 256, 255, 254, 253, 252.
What does that mean?
Like you do this, the guy they'd be following straight up turns around to look at you two.
In no wish I say to him, why don't you think for a second.
Oh, I see. And I'd take off the invisible thing off my head.
He does
Look
it very
at the teeth.
obviously, or
Look at
does he do it discreetly?
Well, I mean, he goes like,
He headbangs very aggressively.
and then
Imagine, you know when you're like, you're doing dumb shit and your headphones fall off, but
Yeah,
they're invisible.
yeah,
You're never gonna find them again. They're gone.
Takes it off, nods at the tiefling who turned around, and then rustles around in his backpack as he puts it in there.
I want them. Is what I was gesturing like I want them.
Vale's gonna turn and not surreptitiously gesture at the tiefling who is now watching them.
He's watching. Actually, doesn't look as confused as maybe he should be. He's just actively watching both of you, and he's like 5 feet
Does
away.
Sid notice him watching since he brought my attention to it?
Sid, you do have to do a perception check with disadvantage.
Sure.
Anyone else? Yes, Sid.
I have a job, and I'm trying to get it done.
Oh.
Nah.
I'm
Right,
like,
Dale's gonna sleight of hand. Then he's
That's
gonna take your hand and shake it, and then pop it in your backpack while he's doing that.
I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I need to go see Gil real quick, but there was something I wanted to tell you.
I'm gonna go roll that sleight of hand then. Let's see. Oh boy.
It's made a little easier by the fact that what you're handling is invisible.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
It was probably your sleight of hand was great, but Sid's like, thanks.
yeah, and then it walks away.
I'm gonna go find Gil, and more or less before it turns visible again, tell Gil to recast it on the invisible thing.
Yeah, I will do that without even saying anything. I'll just assume that's what he wants me to do, and I'll do it.
Sure.
But he actually cast it on my pants instead.
Oh no!
That silly old Gilwyn. You do that, and imagine
He is turning into an anime.
while you're toddling back over, the tiefling just looks at Vale and is like, "There's a gnome. This really
He
is a
works
peace
for
talk."
me. He's my employee. How do you do? Off a hand.
He does shake the hand. He doesn't look very interested in it. It's a pretty.
gonna grip
weak,
it
it's actually
firmly.
it's actually a very weak handshake.
And I'm gonna look him in the eye. So, what brings you to the peace talks?
I work for the mayor of Lichvale.
I see. Then you must be quite pleased about the oncoming peace.
Really, what is there to be pleased about? We'll see how things go.
I'm gonna insight him.
Absolutely.
Better.
He absolutely. Well, there's a little bit of disgust in him, but it's very muted. In fact, even like everything's muted and just sort of down about this guy. And yeah, he I don't know. But there is that little bit of a aggression, that little like threat response, your threat ganglia. No, just you're just you are sort of more sure about yourself talking to this guy that something's off. Just the way he is entirely off. He seems like the kind of person that would attack people during a peace talk.
So he seems different. Does he seem? Now this description you're giving me, like muted and not.
Uh-huh.
It makes me think of like Shadowfell magics. And we already are aware that a shadow has attacked Castback. Is there any chance that this person might be possessed? And any check that I might
for
do
that,
to...
I would actually say would be another insight roll. Because you know what you're looking for, give me... It's not going to be an advantage, just be easier.
Okay, right.
Because it's not arcanics, it's not like you're trying to smell out the magic,
exactly.
because you don't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Possessed? Maybe. He's kind of acting very similar to Gil since he came to Copperbeard's hold.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Like, really similar.
Oh, god damn it, I knew Humble
God
was...
damn
And
it.
then
Oh,
there
yeah.
is, there's something. There is like a little bit of a darkness, or more like an emptiness behind the eyes that's filled by darkness. You know, where there's that spark of life in everyone. It's not there. And he actually kind of looks at you and notices you the way you're looking at him, like you have a realization, and he steps back, like, towards the table. Like, if you don't mind.
Actually, I do. I was hoping we could discuss your ideology. I may feel the same way about this. I'm not entirely sure that the half-elf over there knows what's best for the city.
Give me a deception roll. Although that bit might be true. The general...
Yeah.
I get you. This is one of the things I'm going to actually roll insight, because I'm curious. He kind of... It's not even quite like a nod, it's just a very slow motion. And he kind of adjusts his coat. It's not the sort of thing that necessarily should be discussed always in public with listening ears. But no. Who knows if this is the best choice for... He doesn't finish his sentence.
I'm kind of, at this point, I'm stalling to keep him in conversation with me until that little slow-ass gnome gets his ass back here.
It's not my fault. I'm old and have short legs.
We're all the way across the other side of the room. You can get back to him by this time. You've had a little bit of conversations.
Sid, I'd like you to meet a like-minded friend of mine. Motion to the tiefling. And then I will turn to Sid and I will wink with the eye that the tiefling cannot see, very obviously, so that only the tiefling doesn't notice, but he does.
Gonna have to give me a sleight of hand for that.
Do I have to roll perception to see
No, you see the wink, because you're like.
Well, you got a 4 passive.
I know, but that I will allow that.
Sleight of eye is now a
Sleight of eye.
I do it with my hand, I'm like...
He doesn't appear to notice, and he's just sort of looking at the two of you while you're turning around.
Perhaps, Sid, it would be worth... watching Gil for a little while? Perhaps he would be interested to meet our friend here. They are very similar. They have the same sort of eyes. I think they might get along.
Oh, I'm gonna have to insight that one. I mean, I walked away because I heard my kettle going, so I walked away. But I get it. He needs to roll insight.
I know.
Oh,
no, not even a little bit.
I'm gonna look at his eyes and be like, I'll be honest. I don't think I
Vale,
ever
give
really
me a
stared
deception
into Gil's
check.
eyes. You know?
Everyone stared into Gil's eyes, don't lie.
Although it says 2 right on Ollie's face, but it's not a 2, it's a 12.
That's funny.
I just check, how far away are they from where Melody and Gil are standing?
10 feet or so?
Just because I'm wondering, because this must be quite obvious when looking to the side that Vale is trying to
Vale,
get Sid to
no,
understand
it is.
something.
It is to you and Gilwyn.
This is would I hear him saying anything?
I don't
about
think you'd
him?
necessarily hear the words. Actually, give me a perception check, because there's a lot of conversation going on in this room right now. You know,
Yeah, but
one
I am
loud
paying
conversation
attention
about
to
5 less. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm going to give you a chance.
Oh,
You
that was
hear
so
you
close.
hear him say Gil, which obviously perks you up.
Yeah, Melody just sort of.
And I will say that Gilwyn, you know the reaction Melody has when someone says your name, and she has it.
Yeah.
Did someone say my name?
Melody actually looks at him and says, "Vale talking to Sid about Gil."
I'm the most interesting thing in his life. I'm not surprised.
Melody just smiles at that. She and just goes back to. She looks like she's watching the tiefling, but she's like watching Gil out of a corner of her eye.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll look towards those two. Towards Vale.
So you can tell that Vale is trying to say something to Sid, and Sid doesn't get it. And the tiefling's just standing there, actually kind of politely, just... You're not talking to me right now, but I assume you're going to talk to me when you turn back around.
Well, because I didn't get what he was saying, but I was like, so yeah, he
I mean, you got the winks, you got summing is up.
Yeah, I was like, it sounds like maybe you should come over and meet Gil too.
I'll turn to the tiefling. He's our friend. Perhaps you would enjoy to talk to a fellow, like a few like-minded fellows.
I didn't think.
Hi, I'm Sally. You can call me Sid.
Greetings, Sid.
I stretch out a hand, like I reach up to.
He will shake your hand.
I mean, honestly, these peace talks are moving slowly. But what do you expect? The peoples around here have their reservations of all this, and I wouldn't mind a little bit of a distraction while we wait for something a little bit more exciting to happen amongst the talks. You know how these can get.
Yes, we also have our reservations. I was telling our friend here.
Do I?
He will wink as he says.
Give me a deception roll with disadvantage, Vale. Yes, the disadvantage is from Sid.
Goddamn Sid.
I mean, still, you're really good at deceiving.
I'm not.
You're like
I've only got +2.
You're just lucky at it.
I got lucky.
You got lucky, kid.
He got lucky.
The tiefling so far has no setting things up and looks over and is like, "Is that your friend over there?" Yes, perhaps he might be like-minded.
Gil. It's Gil.
No, he's short. It's a crowded room.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly didn't think there'd be many others with the same mindset here. That's interesting. And he walks over to Gilwyn, and he doesn't like extend handshakes or anything. He just nods.
Obviously, I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah.
Go with it.
Oh, we're all going then. Okay.
Do I feel some sort of like innate edge to nod back or anything?
Kinda, yeah.
I'll just do the same then.
I'm gonna slap since he's walking away and in front of us. I'm gonna slap Vale on the leg to get his attention and just be like,
I wish I could speak Gnomish now. Never thought I'd say that. There's something strange between him and Gil. They have the same sort of lifeless, or it's not even lifeless, but emptiness in their eyes. It is too difficult to explain, but I'm thinking
I thought he was just sad because he missed you.
So did I, but not because he missed me. But anyway, we fought a shadow monster. Think about magics to do with shadow that you may know. They may be at work here. Keep your eye on Gil and the tiefling.
I mean, I'm fine with necrotic magics and whatnot, but I'm not a master of them. Maybe I should go hit a library.
Yeah, not necrotic. Shadow. Perhaps from another realm?
Were you sent here? Are you talking to Gilwyn?
So repeat that again, Ollie.
Were you sent here?
Nah, I came with my friends.
What a strange coincidence. You aren't part of the plan.
Plan?
And he quite quickly walks away.
Melody was standing next to Gil that entire time, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she
Can I
imagine sitting, honestly.
Can I catch the tiefling's wrist as he tries to walk away?
Yeah. He's not going to stop you. Straight away.
Where are you going? You have only just met Gil.
Some meetings should be short. Some talks should be short. Excuse me. And then wrenches away. Unless you want to stop him.
I'm gonna grip.
Alright, athletics versus acrobatics. Here we go.
Rip that wrist, what?
It's a good roll from Vale. He goes to move and you grab a little harder and he does that. And sort of just he just glares down at you.
I think it would be best if you stayed among friends for the moment.
You are not my allies. I don't know why you have one of us with you. I don't know what plan this is, but it's not my plan. It's not his plan. It's not my lord's plan. So, you will
I'm sweeping the leg. He's going down.
Attack roll.
Pinning his arm.
Attack roll, but I know you're trying to do a grapple. No, so it'd just be another athletics thing, actually.
I'd rather go with attack roll.
I know, but this is a grapple.
Oh, boy.
But this guy rolls shit, but it's the same shit he rolled both times. So you
I
do
like
sweep the
grappling
leg.
and Pathfinder the best.
You sweep the leg, and he falls quite loudly. When he falls, let me just roll something real quick.
I will say at this point that as soon as Vale does that and he falls, Melody would immediately be going for her weapons.
Sure.
Just because, like, she's like instinctive battle sort of mode.
When he falls really heavy.
And you hear a crunch of
You hear a crunch of glass, and he just goes, and then you see
I'm gonna
him.
activate my bless at this point. So I'm gonna bless me, Melody, Gil, and Salny.
Great. So you hear a crunch of
I thought
glass.
Bless is only 3 people.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Bless is
yeah.
3 people.
3 people?
Let me
I don't know.
check.
You can
You're
check.
probably
Doesn't
right.
matter right now.
Limited.
You hear a crunch
3
of glass.
creatures, yeah.
And then this
Sorry,
guy
Sid.
is down on the ground.
Wow!
You then see him start to stand, and on the ground is another glass orb that is cracked, and one that is just shattered, like the underside. But there's very little glass on the ground. No, all the glass is in his chest. As he stands, parts are peeling off. You can see his heart beating slower and slow, and then just stopping as he stands. And then just immediately starts to... actually, no. He stands, kind of realizes what's happened, and then very quickly goes to pick up the orb on the ground. Now
Melody
I will
would
say,
immediately,
absolutely, we roll initiative.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Even me as well, then.
Don't roll it yet. Now you can roll. Everyone should, even if you're not in... Well, I mean...
Oh, Sid rolled well as always.
Thus
You
is the
said
way
yourself,
of things.
Scott. Sid's not a combat character. Initiative doesn't matter.
It does for running away. But when you're at the bottom of the initiative, like, well, you got stabbed 7 times. Oh, I'm glad I'm still standing here.
Ask the citizens in XCOM.
Descending. So Gilwyn, you actually notice all of this happen. It's one of the things where you kind of maybe sit up a little bit more as the guy's falling. I just remembered that the turn order is on Ian's face. I should really fix that.
I don't know. I think it's an improvement.
How do I get rid of you?
yeah.
Alright, I just need to do something real quick. I always forget.
Whose face is what?
Never mind.
My face is beautiful.
Gilwyn's it is. Gilwyn
Your
first.
face is beautiful.
Okay. What would Gilwyn in his current state? I feel like I wouldn't.
Up to you.
I should have slapped the shit out of Gil earlier, I realise now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Slap the...
Wow.
I can't say that on stream.
You can totally just pass. Like, stand up, like, maybe, like, instinctively, but not do anything. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Then, following that, is Melody. You're probably not gonna pass. You see Vale tackle a guy to the ground. You see all of this. No issue.
So this guy is getting back up, right?
Got back up.
Okay, Melody would
A lot of blood on the floor.
immediately- Melody would immediately like try to tackle him to the ground and just hold him down. basically.
Absolutely. Give me an athletics roll.
Oh, it's so much easier when a big strong lass
It's
does it.
yeah,
for you.
it's gonna
Yeah,
be
but I only
way
have a
much easier.
+4.
I suppose that... Yeah, but that is double my bonus.
That's actually one above his, so you turn and he turns around and tries to stop you with one arm while trying to pick up the other thing. He was wiry and small, now he seems a little bit stronger. He does put up a good fight, and also the glass sort of cuts into you a little bit. You take 2 damage from the grappling of him, but you do grapple him. Do you want to do the ground and hold him down?
Yeah, definitely. That would just be Melody's instinct.
Sure. then Amelia, you see all of this going on. You're not really with them. You're on sort of the other side of the room. All the people are like, sort of.
Right. I'm gonna tell the people who I've been keeping around me, aka the important people, to get down and stay down. And I'm gonna cast Morning Wind around us.
Great.
Which is described as like not like this like galing wind kind of like swirling around, but more of like magical force fields that are kind of like circling the area.
Vale. Call for Vale.
I'm gonna grab that other globe.
He's reaching for it, but being grappled by Melody, he can't.
Kind of stops him. And then I'm gonna turn to Sid. Sorry, Sid, I don't want to risk another one of these going off. I want to put it in the backpack. Whoop. Gone. Into bag of holding. And then I will... I mean, that was main action really to interact with an object, so I will turn around.
I mean, I still don't understand what's going on, but, you know.
Hey, that was just enough. You're just like, go ahead. Next time you open that, there's going to be like this puff of foul, like, mist come out, and you just, Then I'm going to take my bonus action to probably intimidate now that he's on the ground, to be honest. I'd rather persuade, but it's probably intimidation more. What is your plan for these talks? And who are you working for? Who is the master?
Melody like hisses in his face to make it intimidate.
He kind of is struggling, but he can't really, like, he scratches at Melody, but that's because of the glass embedded in his upper torso area. And he's just, these talks, they go against the plans of Orcus, god of death, bringer of a new world.
I see.
Now I am blessed. All part of the plan. And he's just sort of struggling and being fairly demonic. We'll go back to that later. On his turn, he will try and tackle or get Melody off him. So you do an athletics roll.
I can use my free action to draw weapons, which I will. And because I've got dual wielder feet, I can draw 2.
He can't overpower you. He can't. He keeps trying. And this guy probably isn't in any intense desire to stop. But you can kind of tell he can't. So when he can't get Melody off, he does just sort of resort to scratching. But this guy doesn't have claws. It's just fingernails, you know? That's what's going on. Sid, you actually do kind of realize what's going on now.
Okay. Sid, well, I mean, he needs to avoid the combat, but at the same time, like, I don't think he would really attack this person, because, like, it looked bad. I actually kind of want to do something to warn everybody else around us, like, that this person's a danger and it's not us that's the danger. So I don't know if it's going to be like a persuasion or whatever to kind of like holler out to the others.
Persuasion
I'll
sounds
do it
good.
in common.
Everybody stand back!
That one.
Like, we're not the bad ones! He is! He's got like a bad jar! There's one in my backpack! He's the bad guy!
Oh, God. Let's translate that to real world terms. No, he's got a bomb! I've got one in my backpack!
I rolled shitty, so I played it shitty.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad, Gilwyn.
So I see someone resting on the ground with Melody.
It's the tiefling you looked at before.
Do I feel compelled to help one or the other?
No, well, you don't really feel like doing anything.
The holy light of Ormond.
Do I really feel like doing?
You just
I'll just
moping.
Slowly walk towards, and that's my turn.
Cool. Melody, I imagine you're not going to be so nice.
No. At this point, I just want to punch him in the side of the head, try and knock him out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that an attack roll?
It is an attack roll.
Oh god, that would
That
just be a
you
straight. Well, that'd be no straight plus
Strength plus
that'd be
your
plus strength.
proficiency, yeah.
You have bless, so you can add a d4 to it as well.
Oh, can I? Excellent.
Mm.
Manual roll. I've forgotten how to manual roll.
Up there on the
Been
left,
so
you
long.
can.
You absolutely
that
hit. The way I like to do unarmed attacks, they're meant to be 1, but I do 1 plus your strength mod because that makes more
Yeah,
sense.
I always do 1 plus strength too, because that makes sense.
So it's
Yeah, it
1
does.
damage plus your strength mod, which is
3. Well, my strength mod is 2, so it'd be 3
you
damage.
punch him in the side of the head. He's still struggling.
Okay, I'll just continue holding him down.
Cool. Amelia.
Gil's showing off the guns.
You know what? Because this doesn't really need to be combat right now, because you're protecting, all that stuff. Vale, are you gonna do like a kill stab or anything? Or are you,
Kill stab.
kill stab? A
I
coup
want
de
him
grace.
to do a kill
Well,
stab.
I kind of want to kill him now. He's said Orcus. It's probably best to keep him alive so that we can find out more. So, I mean, I'll hand Melody my club.
And then,
God.
My belaying
from there, I'm not
And
gonna...
And then I would, presuming that Melody keeps him pinned down, I would turn to Gil, I think. Seeing as Gil is now the unrestrained issue.
It takes a
that
couple
has-
of thunks, but the guy's unconscious.
You're gonna treat
Melody's
this
not,
poor
not
tiefling like
subtle or like gentle.
No, it's like a kung, kung.
I was gonna say, you're gonna treat this poor tiefling like a common, city guard. Like, oh, tiefling! Poof, poof, poof.
Yeah,
Oi! What you doing here?
you don't belong here.
It's brutal as well because it's like with the it's not a proper club. It's a belaying pin.
It's designed to knock people's
Yeah.
heads out. Not people.
Was
out
that your
via their heads.
your what you call it? Your
Pirate
sailor
yeah,
thing? Yeah.
from my background.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thought so.
Cool. So that happens. You turn to Gilwyn.
Gilwyn.
We've handled it. So we've just got to question them now. Guards.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there were guards in the room. They were just not in the immediate vicinity. So they do come over, and they kind of aren't sure whether they're meant to be attacking Melody or not, but they don't. But they're still, like, got their shields and hammers
She's
up.
a
as they go
proper
over.
lady. She's with us. See, look at her
Melody
dress.
stands up with like probably a little bit of blood on her and just sort of looks at them.
And they look down at the tiefling,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
start picking them up. And one of the guards goes, "The orb. What happened to the other orb?"
We put it in a bag of holding. It's probably the safest place for it at the moment.
We're
How
going to
did
need
he
to
know there was
compensate
another
that.
orb beyond soundly yelling it out loud?
It was on the floor.
Oh, okay,
When
okay.
he's
I
still-
may have missed that.
That's
one.
why
Yeah.
they were basically were fighting for it.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to confiscate that bag until this whole thing is investigated.
Oh, that's not going to happen. I'll gladly give you the orb, though.
Fine.
Perhaps you should have a mage handle the orb.
Oh,
He kind of looks over and very quickly, Fulcrum sort of glides across the room.
Oh, hey, Falcrum. I was actually going to offer my services in detecting this thing, but unless you want assistance, I know you're more than capable.
Well, I think that perhaps we can sort this thing out together, shouldn't we, Sally? And I imagine you pulled the thing out of your bag.
Yep. It was literally.
And then he kind of just frowns. It is cracked.
Like it's one of those, kind of grab a cloth and like put it on my other hand, and, like hold it on like a cloth, and my other hand be like slowly like
Yeah.
cover it up like.
Bandage.
Well, you do have a proper facility. Perhaps we should get there, hop skip. Toot sweet.
I think this needs to be done here. Excuse me, do you have a bunker? Like, I imagine you two walk off as they
Do you
start
have a bunk?
talking about that sort of thing and organizing where to take this thing. And it does get sorted out pretty quickly where you guys need to go. So
Yeah.
Vale can deal with Gil.
Gil, I think maybe it would be a good idea if you, me, and Melody took a little trip to the nearest church.
Why? I'm not really religious.
I know, but there was something that I needed to show you there. It's quite important. I meant to tell you the other day, but I couldn't find the right way to tell you. Look, just let's go, and I'll show you when we're there.
You need to tell me something important at a church.
No, I need to show you something.
Okay. And you want Melody to come?
Well, I see no reason for Melody not to come. She would also find it interesting.
Sure. Now?
Now, I think.
Melody?
Melody? Melody does actually sort of like she has realised by now there's something a bit odd about Gil, and she just nods.
Amelia, I imagine you eventually just cast a spell when you realise there's no vapor in the air.
Yeah.
Does it give you a thumbs up?
Lady Builder's just like, I kind of thought there might be risks, but one of my own, I don't understand what any of this is. And you notice, of course, because you're basically between
as well.
him and Casback. It's like Casback is not at least verbally surprised. In fact, he's a dwarf. His arms crossed.
Can I see whether I can pick that Deathless out of the crowd? Who
Yeah,
was
give
speaking to
me a
the
perception
tiefling
check.
earlier? And I'm gonna add my d4 to that.
You don't see him.
That's a really good idea that you added that one before.
Blessed
I
by
just
the
love the
glorious
on his
sun.
face. Yeah, sure you can have the 1d4 trip. You don't gain anything from it, but...
Sometimes you just need to let them try. So, Amelia, when they're thanking all that stuff, do you go over to the party, or do you continue protecting people?
Yeah, I go over to the party for a little bit.
Cool.
I would make sure things are, like, okay where I am. Like, they're not
Everyone's safe. Nothing. It didn't hurt anyone other than a tiefling. Honestly,
The tiefling that we apprehended, he spoke to a member of the Deathless. I can't pick him out of the crowd, but it might be best for you to stay with the party for now. We're just visiting a church for something important. But one of the Deathless is a traitor.
When you say party, which party do you mean?
The diplomatic function.
I agree.
I think your skills would be best used here for the moment. Would you be alright if Melody comes with us?
Of course, why would I mind?
You see, I'm not thinking about my head. I'm not using my head. That be it. I think Vale would be keen to get to that church ASAP.
Cool. Do you want to find an actual church, or would like a prayer room inside this palace do?
No, I need a church. I need a priest.
Okay. Well, I mean, there'd probably be priests here, but
I just wrote the natty 20.
Oh yeah, if there's a priest.
I know, but unfortunately he fucking left. I was just saying that as like, oh fuck.
If there, I mean,
and now he's
We
gone.
should be like, Salny knows a lot about history. He's always espousing garbage. Maybe we should check with him real quick. I know where he went. He just went that way 20 seconds ago.
If there's
No,
a priest in here,
church.
then that's fine. I don't need a church.
There's
I need
not a priest in here. This is a. I know you wouldn't really know. So yeah, I guess you would leave and try and find an actual church building, and you think you saw one. So I'm not going to make you roll. You just spend a little bit of time going to find one. You find a church, and it is a church to the straight up the dwarven faith, to the dwarven gods, particularly Moradin, the All Father, the Shield Father, whatever you want to call him. It's the sort of thing where you're totally allowed in. Cowbeard's Hold is very open to travelers, but you can kind of tell that you don't belong here. Most of the people here are dwarves. And it's pretty quiet, actually, here. There's a couple of people in quiet prayer, but other than that, you don't see much going on.
Wait here for a moment with Melody. And I'm gonna wander off and see if I can find a priest.
It takes you a little bit of time because dwarven priests aren't dressed up like priests. In fact, the one you find is like in light chainmail, you know. But they
Sounds
find
like a cleric to me.
They find you wandering, and it's like, "What do you need, my son?"
I'm not entirely sure how to put this, but I need you to restore something or remove something from my friend. It's some form of taint from an... Scott, no! Not that face!
No! No, Scott!
From an evil god. I believe it may be... I lean in a bit closer and... Orcus.
Oh. Oh.
Orcus.
Okay. Is this your friend?
Yeah.
Walks
Leads into
over, sort of thing. Takes out a pendant that has a little box on it, and but first of all, just like looks at Gilwyn. I would say crouches in front of him. He's dwarf, and I imagine Gil was sat down at this point, so he's just staring. I see what you mean. Someone's done something. Almost
What?
like took the joy out of your life.
It would appear that someone has cast something on you, infected you with something. We're not entirely sure. I thought
Evil
perhaps
magic, or evil power of an evil god, that's for sure.
I thought perhaps a church would be the best place to get you cured. I'm sorry I lied, Gil.
What do you mean I've cured?
At this point, the cleric like licks his thumb, so a goopy lick, and puts the
it in your ear.
sticky thing on your forehead, and then like kind of raises the thing on his pendant, and sort of you feel like you're thrust backwards, and then back into yourself. What happens to the rest of them is there actually is a bit of a presence for a second. There's maybe a little bit of a sort of fiery glowing in this guy's hand for a second, and then he lets go. Like, something evil has gone in there. I rooted it out, though. Oh, something evil, something malicious.
Gil, how do you feel?
Do you know when you just wake up and you still feel like you're kind of asleep and you're groggy? I'm like the period after that now.
I don't sleep.
Oh, shit.
I've been knocked
The
out.
dwarf nods.
Is it
This
like
is-
waking up after being knocked out?
This is common, my child, with exorcisms.
Wow, an exorcism.
I don't think there was a demon in him, but a demon definitely did something to him.
Is there any way to tell where it came from?
Demons hide in all sorts of places, especially in these cities. They could be anywhere, in cults. This could have been the work of a cult, worshipping, you said, Orcus. Heard rumor,
Yeah,
god of death that the humans fought. It definitely seems like the type who'd have a cult of curses and hedges.
is there anyone you spent an awful lot of time with, Gil? I already know my answer to this question, and perhaps it's worth investigating.
Humble.
There's like a little smile on Vale's face. Like
He
I told
wanted
you
that
it was
answer.
Bad.
Come on. He's
Well,
fine.
You never know.
He's like a hornier version of me. There's nothing wrong with that man. Literally. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Cults make their leaders and their members look so attractive and so fitting, but common folk are led into their lies. That's how the demon gods have their sway over the world.
No, I'm not usually into this religious mumbo jumbo that priests are sprouting. Not to be rude, of course, you have done us a great service, and I am most thankful. Most thankful indeed.
He kind of like the pleasantness fades away pretty quickly. You follow his eyes as they look to a donation box, and then he leaves. He gives another look at Gilwyn, and then leaves, probably to tell someone.
Ollie, do I remember
not
what
the
I'd been
details?
doing?
Basically, you know everything you know. Stuff that I didn't give you the details of what happened in specifically, so you don't know. But you remember everything that happened when you got here, and stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up to the donation box, and I will put 50 gold in there.
Gil, happy now?
Happy air.
Thank
Melody.
God. I'm so glad to have you back to
And
normal.
Melody gives him a big smile.
I give her a big hug.
Oh.
She hugs back. Welcome back, Gil.
We should probably go and make sure Amelia isn't fighting off another member of this cult. As much as I enjoy spending time here, but probably a bit cruel to leave her to deal with that one alone. If you're feeling alright.
She's got Sid. He's battle hardened.
Sid.
He'll be fine.
Sid went off with Fulcrum. It looked like they were going to engage in something very interesting.
Eddie.
Well, Sid looked to him with almost respect. I feel like there may be something there. You know, he did say his wife has died.
We're in a... Jesus, that's dark. And we're in a church. You can't say it. Come on.
Not my God. Thank you.
So you leave. In the meantime, because they've been gone for a significant amount of time, Amelia, there's no peace talks going on right now.
Surrounded by corpses, panting with a
It's
dagger in her.
the guards are all over. Copperbeard wasn't in the room all the time these peace talks were going on, but he would roll in and out as a lord does. You know, you're doing
Anyone
this
fancy
here.
some more hors d'oeuvres?
Yeah, like sit down with a drink and just listen for a little bit. I'm not joking, Neil. That happened. But he's not come back. Basically all the doors have a guard at them now. There's no peace talk anymore. Basically, just Lady Builder, like, hands in her hair completely frazzled out of the very neat and probably like braided patterns that it was in for the talks. Just like, I don't know why that would have happened. He always seems so loyal and like he's just going on and Caspac is pacing back and forth. You do notice the occasional conversation in Dwarven between him and the elf.
I'll try to like calm her down and just be like, listen, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. We'll find out what's happening. And then maybe try to like steer the conversation towards something more like neutral and conversational, like the weather or what have you.
You're almost British
I'm not
there.
very charismatic.
This weather we've been
Like you're probably like, have you noticed the engraving on the wall? Like,
It's beautiful. Gorgeous.
yeah, absolutely. I was. You know what? That's where we're gonna end this segment.
On beautiful engravings.
On beautiful engravings and Amelia's awkward conversation skills. We'll be back in a few minutes to finish off this episode of Jarviskjir, the Grave Situation.